It's a place where a common person, a common man's life is very miserable because he is kind of cornered. A common man is cornered, and a common man cannot really get any benefit if they are not really affiliated with the government part. So, the frustration amongst the people, among students, working class people, everywhere, like even business people, it's like has been very, very high. Well, the historical issue about the quota protest, which is going on right now, which basically sparked the crowd, was the students. They were holding a peaceful protest till 15th of July. Then the Prime Minister had a press conference 15th or 16th of July, where she said that where a journalist asked that what is your comment about the ongoing quota protest which is happening. So her response to that question was, if the quotas of if these quotas are not reserved for the families of freedom fighters who fought the war of independence of Bangladesh back in 1971 with Pakistan, then for whom the quotas will be reserved? Should I reserve it for the children of Razakars? Now, Razakar is a term which is very offensive in Bangladesh. It is offensive because back in 1971, the Razakar force, it was a paramilitia force, and it was seen as collaborators of the Pakistani military. So Razakars were basically part of a search team that would go to places and search for freedom fighters or people who are actively participating in the war. So the students, these are these new generation kids, and they do not really like to be maligned this way, that the Prime Minister would vilify them, that they're kids or families of Razakar. And that very night they came out starting to they started to chant slogans that if we are Razakar, then we're Razakars, but you're a dictator. Okay, and they have been taking the streets. They have created a massive, significant amount of protests since then. The verdict that the Supreme Court has given today is that by keeping 5% quota for the families of freedom fighters, and then again it gives the government to an option to either reduce it or to extend it. So basically it's like the government does have a say in it. If they want to extend the quota, they can actually extend the quota as they wish. They'll not require the court's intervention in that. I'm not really sure. I've not read the entire verdict, but what I have read in BBC Bangla, that suggests that the government can actually choose if they want to extend the quota system beyond 5% or below 5%. So, and at this moment where the protest is, it has kind of turned into a protest of mass people, because it's not really about the students anymore. Since 16th of July, around 160 people so far, according to multiple reports, have lost their lives. Most of them are young students, and they were shot dead by the security forces. And with them, as the protest developed, general people of from all walks of life have participated. So now it is a protest that is not only going to be subdued by this verdict only. It has stretched a lot, and it has spread all around the country. So the political implication right now is, based on this protest, other student organizations, most student organizations the Student Alliance have expressed their solidarity with the ongoing protests. All the opposition political parties have expressed their solidarity with the protest, and they all are now demanding for the government to step down. They're demanding the Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina to resign and her government to be abolished. In Bangladesh, since 2009, it is the Awami League who are in the power. The Awami League party is it's their government basically, and BNP is a political party who is there, they are the main opposition party, but they are kind of missing out from the political scenario in a way that they have not taken part in any of the elections under the Awami League government in the last 15 years. Reason behind is, before in Bangladesh, before 2009, we had a system called the caretaker system of election, and after the Awami League government came into power, they abolished the caretaker system. So under the caretaker system, there used to be a election time government for a few months. When that government would come for 3 to 6 months period or 1 year period, conduct an election under a neutral administration. Now, the Awami League, they abolished it, and BNP did not really like it, and other political parties, they also did not welcome it. So what happened was, since 2000, in the election of 2014, 18, and 23, they have not participated in the major election. So Awami League had kind of a walkover kind of thing. It was only them who was there, and they formed a political party. So BNP doesn't really have much to do about the reformation of the quota system, because they are not really in a deciding position. It is in the hand of Awami League. And back in 2018, the government of Sheikh Hasina at that time, she decided that they will abolish the quota system. But again, just after that, after 2 years, somebody went to the court and brought this thing to stay. So it was basically in the hand of Awami League. They did not have to do all these kind of things. They did not have to again send it to the court and just put a stay on what the Prime Minister did in 2018. Like, the reason I'm saying it is in Bangladesh, the judiciary is basically controlled. It is very much in favor of the government. It would do what the government asks, to put it simply. So when the matter went to the court, when two students went to the court and asked that please put a stay on the decision, surprising, because in Bangladesh it is all about Sheikh Hasina. Sheikh Hasina does everything. So if she said something and the court again stated that was kind of abnormal. It was not really required. So if that did not happen, we would not see all these things that we are witnessing, right? So it was in the hands of Awami League. They could have played it very nicely. They could have played it in the favor of the students. I don't know why they actually twisted it so much. So yeah, the curfew and the internet blackout was, of course, not really something that anybody would welcome in a democratic country. And what the Awami League government is doing right now is they have imposed this curfew, and by doing that, they have also disconnected Bangladesh from the rest of the world. So we do not know what kind of savagery they're conducting there, how many people are being killed in Bangladesh right now in the middle of the night, because we are hearing different numbers every time. The actual number of death, we do not really know. So it is something that the Awami League government have imposed just to control the situation and to take it in their favor. But by doing that, they have simply cut out the lives of 170 million people from the rest of the world. Like, it's a country of 170 million people. So you imagine that they have completely shut down the economy. The Bangladesh doesn't have any connection with the rest of the world right now. Trades are stopped. Education is at a standstill position. There are patients. There are people whose regular life have been hampered. So there is absolutely no requirement for implementing such harsh curfew, and then again giving orders such as shoot at sight to security forces. It is all they're doing. So what they have done, they have failed as a government, I would say, and now they should absolutely take the responsibility of it and do what is required. So quota system, basically, it tells you that we had the system for a long time, since 1972, after the War of Independence. And it allows you to keep 30% of the quotas for the families of freedom fighters who fought in the War of Liberation back in 1971. So it's like that there have been an advantageous generation. 2 generations have received the advantage of this quota system. So these freedom fighters, then again, their children kind of have received this kind of advantage. So again, giving advantage to the families of freedom fighters, it was just too much stress. That's what I personally feel. And the ask for the students was absolutely valid, because as I said, it's a massive country, it's a massively populated country, and getting a government job is really, really challenging. It's not very easy to get a government job in Bangladesh. So it is very competitive, and here if you reserve 30% quota for kids of or families of the freedom fighters who have already enjoyed it for last 53 years, it is just something that should have been abolished already. That's what I feel. And on a broader perspective, as I said earlier to you, that in Bangladesh, we did not really have proper elections since 2009. Basically, since the Awami League government came into power. It's all about them. They have been holding all the elections by themselves. People have been left out of their voting rights. People could not exercise their voting rights. And again, in the country, it's like it's very oppressed. People does not really have their voice. The government introduced various kind of measures like Digital Security Act, Cyber Security Act, just to keep their critics silent, and also to gag the press, because in Bangladesh, the press, media, they cannot really hold the government accountable. The corruption in Bangladesh have gone rampant. Nepotism is massive. So it's a place where a common person, a common man's life is very miserable, because he is kind of cornered. A common man is cornered, and a common man cannot really get any benefit if they are not really affiliated with the government party. So, the frustration amongst the people, among students, working class people, everywhere, like even business people, it's like has been very, very high. So what you witness here right now is basically an outburst of all of this. And when the ruling party, the student league, like the student wing of the ruling party, joined hands with police and started killing students, that turned things very bad, because students really didn't like it, that why these ruling party thugs are killing them, beating them up in the streets. By seeing that, people also participated, and now it has become a protest of the mass. The current protest will send a very strong message to, of course, to Awami League as a party and to all other political parties, that there remains a generation, or there remains the larger population who have been very silent, who have been very patient, and their senses, their concerns have been addressed through a very violent manner, a massively violent protest. And they should learn from it, and they should really, really be very careful about such practice of corruption and how to deal with rights of the citizens in the future. Because, what has happened now, it's not only it does not happen from one days of grudge. The grudge have accumulated. They have been agitated for a long time. It was student activism that have sparked it, but all other components around it, like as I mentioned to you, that the rampant corruption, nepotism, and lack of accountability all have added to it. So it shows the power of the student activism, how strong it can be, how strongly it can shake a nation. The students are united, and it shows that students, the young generation, they are still in the charge, and leaders, political parties across the world who has this tendency of suppressing their population, suppressing their citizens. It should send a very strong message to them that this can happen anytime to any country if concerns and certain serious issues that hampers the economic growth and of a nation. So, that's all.